Hey, so what is going on, everyone? It is me, Mr. Mario, and I just want to make this quick little news segment, featurette, video, anything like that, whatever you want to call it, about the Xbox One, Xbox 360 backwards compatibility. Now, for anybody that does not know, the Xbox One now has public backwards compatibility with a select amount of Xbox 360 titles, with more to come. Currently, right now, there are 104 titles, as I'm recording this, in the backwards compatibility log, so I'll link that down below in the description so you could check that out and, see the list of what games are available, but I'm also going to link this article that I'm referencing right here. So what am I talking about? I am talking about your Xbox 360 games being region-free on the Xbox One, which this absolutely astounded me, and I find this very impressive right here. Now, a lot of people were excited about backwards compatibility. A lot of people said, this is pointless, why are you excited about old games? And I thought it was a cool feature. I think the more features we get, the better, especially backwards compatibility. But this right here just blew my mind, and the reason why I say that is because this is not something I commonly see. So for anyone that does not know how region coding works, on the Xbox 360 specifically, you buy your system from a territory, so you get a PAL system, a NTSC-U system, an NTSC-J system, but Xbox 360 region coding was really weird. First off, it was region locked to the region and marketplace itself. So that meant, for example, if I bought an American copy of Borderlands and I had European Borderlands DLC on my system, I could not use that on my American copy of the game. I would have to buy a European copy of the game if it wasn't region-free or anything like that. Now, what ended up happening with this as well, too, sometimes it was kind of iffy, but what would happen as well, too, was the games were selective in their region coding. And the only way you could really figure that out was if you knew a little bit about modding, so you could dump the ISO and scan it that way through ABGX or anything like that, or if you just bought the game and took a chance on it, or if you had multiple consoles. So there could be games where you could select multiple regions, one region for them, or have them be region-free. So it really varied per game. But there are several games out there that got separate releases. I know Army of Two is one of them, for example, where I know there was an NTSC-U copy, and then there was a specific PAL copy as well, too, that was made. So just little differences like that. So now, if a game is backwards compatible, like it is fully up there, it's working, it's good to go, anyone in the world can play it, but you can play any version of it. So that means, let's say, one of the things they used here, for example, if I had an American system and I had a German version of Rainbow Six Vegas 2, I could now play that on my Xbox One. Even if it did not play on my Xbox 360, I could play it on my Xbox One. All I need is a copy of the game, and as long as it is in the backwards compatibility program, it will work out. In addition to that, for anybody who's an achievement whore out there, anybody who's, hunting after and gunning after achievements, anything like that, no shame in that. I used to do that for a few years in high school. For anybody that's into that, this also works with stackable games. So let's say there is a game that has multiple different regions. So let's say it was released in 3 different regions, and there's 3 different achievement sets for it, and you want to get 3,000 gamer score for it. You can now get each of those separate copies of the game and install each one to your system and play them that way. You no longer need to get a modified Xbox 360 or multiple Xbox 360s. You can play all of them on your Xbox One. In addition to that, one final thing right here, DLC now works with any variant of the game. So one of the examples they used right here is, for example, if you have Borderlands, so I think I talked about this a little bit, but if you have Borderlands, let's say I have an American copy of it and I have the Japanese DLC for it purchased, I can now use that on my game, so that works out. This, to me, is absolutely impressive, and for anybody that doesn't really understand why this might be impressive or anything like that, one, it's really great for importers and collectors or people who are just, in other parts of the world. Like, for example, if somebody, let's say, you live in the US for like a few months, you get an Xbox One here, but you go back to Europe because that's your home, you take it over there. If you have some games over at your home in Europe that are in the backwards compatibility program, you no longer have to get a European Xbox 360 or a European Xbox One, or you don't have to modify an Xbox 360 or anything like that. You can just play them on your Xbox One and it will work just fine with the DLC and everything like that. Sony has done backwards compatibility as well too, but for example, with the PS2, if I got an American PS2, it was locked to American PS1 and PS2 games. If I got an American PS3, it was locked again to American PS1 and 2 games, although PS3 games were region free. So that is one big thing as well too, which is why I did not expect this, because Xbox 360 games had some type of limited not backwards compatibility, but some type of, limited region locking, while as on the Xbox One, all games are going to be region free. So as I said, that's something really impressive when I saw that, on the PS3, where Sony could have done that, but unless you modified the system, your PS1 and 2 games still were region locked, while as your PS3 games, you could play whatever game you wanted to. So I find this quite impressive. What do you all think of this? Because I think this will work out primarily for, achievement whores and people who are collecting and importing and exporting things like that. But also, as I said, for the few people who they will move to different parts of the world, they don't have to buy multiple systems, anything like that, and they don't have to get multiple copies of their game. They can just keep the same game. Anyways, it's Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone.